All right, race number 1. Start making your way to the track here. Race number 5. You guys are out to marshal. So race number 1, that means I need Paul Reinick, Micah Kranz, Chris Farina, Les, how did I say your last name? Farjon? Nice. I'm going to love saying that. Farjon. Blaine Gould, Dusty Flunker, and David Allen, you guys are up. My marshals, Jamie Tenney's, Larry Wright, Danny D, Jake Ward, Skylar Mandela, Tyler O'Brien, and Todd Pfeiffer. Ice Cream Man Pfeiffer. John Wells, you will be in the next race. There we go. Todd Pfeiffer taking extra care blowing that track off. Thank you, Mr. Ward. All right, race number 1, 21.5 Spec Buggy. You guys can roll them around and check them in. Make sure I'm live here. I am. We are live on both Facebook and YouTube. Hello to everybody out there. Welcome to Sweet Heat, round number 4 at Trackside Hobbies, Brookfield, Wisconsin. All right, everybody is checked in. The straightaway is now closed. The order for this one going to be Paul Reinick, Micah Kranz, Chris Farina, Les Farjon, Blaine Gould, Dusty Flunker, and David Allen. All right, guys. Marshals, Look Alive drivers, I'm going to call you by name. Paul Reinick, Micah, Chris Farina, Les Farjon, Blaine Gould, Dusty Flunker, and David Allen. Watch it after the carousel corner there. Clear now. All right, off and rolling. Here we go. Race 1, round 1, Sweet Heat, round number 4. Watch it after the kids' table. Clear now. Kids' table once again. Clear again. These guys settling in, getting their first and second laps in the books here. About 50 seconds in. So far, it's Gould, Farina, Reinick, Farjon, Kranz, Allen, Flunker. Watching us straight. Clear now. 4 minutes to go in this one. Blaine Gould out front. 17.9 across the line last time by. Early hot lap for Gould. 17-lap pace with 3:40 on the clock. Paul Reinick in that 2 spot. 15 laps for him. Flunker on 15. David Allen in that number 4 position on a 15-lap run as well. Then we got Les, Chris, and Micah Kranz with 3:30 to go. Watch it after the kids' table. Clear now. I believe that was Dave Allen on his lid there. That was our P5 driver. 3:15 on the clock. Gould resetting hot lap the previous 17.7. 17 and a 5:07 is his pace. Paul Reinick hanging on to that 2 spot. 19.2 last time by for him. 19.1 for Flunker. Flunker taking over the 2 spot now. Reinick down to the 3. Then we got Farjone watching in front of the stand. Les getting it wrong, parking it. Less than that, all yellow. New to the racing game here, currently residing in the 4 position. Les Farjone down the straightaway. Drops down to the 5 spot that time by. Halfway down, halfway to go. Gould, Reinick, Flunker, Kranz, Farjone, Allen, and Farina. Blaine all alone on that 17-lap run right now. Reinick in the 2, another fast lap for him, 18.9 across the line, 15 and a 5:06 for Paul. 5:10 for Flunker, 5:15 for Kranz, 14 and a 5 flat for Les Farjone. Then we got David Allen and Chris Farina, 2:10 to go. Little mistake there for Gould. Gould in that white and red coming up on the back of Flunker. Flunker gives him room. These guys working together. Excellent. They touch wheels. No harm, no foul there. These guys working it out. Going high on the straightaway. High on the straight. Clear now. Thank you, Breadbasket. 1:40 to go. Go high on the straight again. Clear once again. Blaine Gould across the line, 18.6. He's going up the hill in front of the driver's stand now. Double and single working on the back of Micah Kranz. Gould in that red, gray, and white. White wheels. Kranz gives him room. Excellent driving there. 18.6 last time by for our leader. Backs it up with an 18.2. 17 and a 5:14 to pace. Dusty Flunker in that 2 spot. 18.9 across the line for him. 15 and a 5:04 is his pace. 08 for Reinick. 15 and a 5:15 for David Allen. 5:19 for Les Farjone. 5:19 for Kranz. So Farjone and Kranz separated by 0.2 of a second right now. And Chris Farina only 3 seconds behind those guys. 55 seconds to go. Gould resets the hot lap. 17.6. Leader working down this front straightaway. 18.1 across the line. 17 and a 5:13 is his pace. 40 seconds on the clock. Flunker across the line. 19.1 for him. 15 and a 5:03. Watch it go high coming on the straight. Go high on the straight. Clear now. 30 seconds to go. Gould, Flunker, Reinick, Allen, Farjone, Farina, and Kranz. Leader working that kids table right now. Him and Kranz sharing the track beautifully. Coming up on the back of Reinick, I believe. And maybe Farina. Gould get caught up just a bit there. Little pop a wheelie, no time really lost. Time has expired on the clock. Keep going until I call your name. Everybody's still live. Keep going, keep going. Paul Reinick, you are the only one done. Paul Reinick. Chris Farina, you are now done. Micah Kranz is done. When I call your name, please pull offline. Dusty Flunker, you're done. Waiting on a few more. Waiting on Blaine, waiting on Les, and waiting on David Allen. There's Les, there's Blaine. Waiting on one more. Just waiting on David Allen working his way through the chicane right now. And then there's Allen across the line. Marshals, grab those track blowers, please. Danny, could you help me out, please? Grab the number 3, or Tyler O'Brien. Blaine Gould going to take that one. 17 and a 5:12 for him. Flunker in that 2 spot. 15 and a 5:01. 06 for Reinick. 15 and a 5:14 for Farjone. 15 and a 5, 19 for David Allen. Farina, 14. Kranz, 14. Those two separated by 3 seconds. Close battle there between buddies. Go ahead and set those fine machines down in the green carpeted area. Spread yourselves amongst the track. Find a marshalling position. Race number 2 ready. What are you doing, Dave? Oh, you're over there still? Ah. Well, you just walk over and go get it, and then you guys go ahead, roll them around, check them in. All right, here. Everybody is checked in. Let's bring them to the line. Watching in front of the stand. Dusty Flunker going to go over there. Dave Allen there. The order of this one going to be Stephen Key going to roll out first. Ian Lenhart, Travis Mashinsky, Preston Shear, Matthew Erdman, Fran Bonji, Chris Kern, and John Wells. Paul, you could go up on the top of the hill there, and Blaine Gould can watch these 2 spots. He's quick. I've seen him run. All right, guys. Marshals look alive, especially Blaine. I'm going to call you by name. Steven. Ian Lenhart. Travis Mashinsky. Preston Shear. Matthew Erdman. Fran Bonji. Chris Kern, and Johnny Wells. Whoop, whoop. You are. It's all right. Move your mouse around the highlights. Watch it after the sweeper. Sweeper. Quick footwork there from Flunker. Those waltz lessons are paying off. Watch it after the triple. Race number 2 on the track right now, settling in. 21.5 spec buggy. All these guys starting to groove up. 350 left to go in this one. Preston Shear leading them out. 17 lap pace. Mashinsky, Key, Wells, Bonji, Erdman, Lenhart, and Kern. Shear on that 17. 16s for Mashinsky, Key, Bonji. 15 for Erdman, 15 for Kern, 15 for Lenhart. 3:30 to go. I'll watch it after kids table. These guys getting caught up just a bit. Preston tried to deploy the air brakes, but they did not work. Watched after carousel. Clear now. Shear remains on top. 16 and a 5:02 the pace now. 05 for Mashinsky, so 7/10 the separation up front. Bonji in that 3 spot. 16 and a 5:10 for him. 5:10 for Erdman. Bonji and Erdman separated by 3/100ths. Erdman throwing down 18.4 last time by his best lap on lap number 5. Shear, good recovery lap there. 17.8 last time by. Mashinsky, though, with a 17.9. 8/10 the separation between the top 2 cars with 2:40 to go. Bonji hanging out in that 3 spot, about 2.5 seconds off that lead battle. Now down to 1.4. Bonji closing the gap. Erdman in the 4. Johnny Wells in the 5. Key, Lenhart, and Kern. Top 4 guys separated by about 3 seconds right now, maybe 4. That's Mashinsky, Shear, Bonji, and Erdman. Travis taking over the top spot the previous lap there. Him and Mashinsky both having rough laps. Shear going to recover, though. Bouncing back with a hot lap here. 17.7. taking that top spot once again. 16 and a 503, watching in front of the driver's stand. That car maybe looks broke. 1:55 to go. Someone is out. Oh, man, that is Erdman. Fran Bonji taking over the top spot now. 16 and a 504 for him. 07 for Shear. 08 for Mashinsky. Then we got Wells, Lenhart, Key, and Kern. 140 to go. Bonji working down the line. 18-3 last time by. Backs it up 18-7. Bonji in that red and black. Yellow wheels working up the hill in front of the driver's stand now. 16 and a 504 his pace. He's got 1.2 on Travis Mashinsky in that 2 spot. Mashinsky working around that carousel corner. Flow, yellow, white. Yellow wheels. Working over to kids' table in the center of the track now. Tidy line on that kids' table exit for Mashinsky. Bonji with a rough one last time by. Mashinsky takes over the top spot. Last time by for Travis, 18-2. Backs it up 18-3. 4 down, 1 to go. Shear jumping up to the 2. Bonji shuffling down to the 3 spot. Watch it in the chicane. Clear now. Good marshal in there from Farina. Mashinsky, Shear, Bonji, Key, Lenhart, Kern, Wells, and Erdman back in the fight here. Mashinsky 16 and a 503. Watch it. Chicane exit. Chicane exit. 16 and a 503 for our leader. 04 for Shear. 05 for Bonji. 06 for Key. 09 for Lenhart. Scratch that. 15 lap runs for Key and Lenhart. Sorry. So top 3 guys on 16 lap pace. 20 seconds to go in this one. Top 3 separated by 2 seconds. 1 and 2 separated by 1/10. That's Mashinsky and Shear. Mashinsky working on the straightaway now. Flow yellow, yellow wheels. A little bit of white in there. Working together, him and Shear working up the hill. Preston in that white and red, yellow wheels. 1 and 2 over to kids' table. Time has expired. Work together to the end. Watch coming on the straightaway, coming on the straight. Kranz is there. Keep going, Steven. Preston Shear, you are done. Only one done. Stephen Key done. Ian Lenhart done. Mashinsky done. Erdman done. Waiting on Kern and Wells. Waiting on Kern and Wells. If I called your name, please pull offline. One more to finish. One more to finish. Johnny Wells working through the chicane. Black and yellow. Still racing, guys. Still racing. Dave Allen, I'm going to need you to blow the track off when he's done there. All right, all in, all done. Preston Shear going to take that one. Marshals on your blowers, please. Preston Shear going to take that one. 16 and a 501. Oh, Blaine's got it. Thank you, Blaine. 16 and a 501 for Preston Shear. Mashinsky, 16 and a 506. 0.6. 0.9 for Bonji. Ian Lenhart, 15 and a 509. 511 for Kern, 0.3. Stephen Key, 0.7. 15 and a 522 for Johnny Wells. And Erdman, 14 and a 503 with a pit stop. We'll get the guys from the last race spread out to Marshall here. And then we'll get going with race number 3. You guessed it. It's 21.5 Spec Buggy. So race number 3 on the stand right now. And this one we've got Talon Didi, Craig O'Brien, Elliot Castillo, Todd Filter, Pat Hamill, Adam Chidara, and Andrew Schultz. Sweet Heat round number 4. Brought to you by G Money Ball Diff Grease. All right, guys, you can go ahead and roll them around, check them in. Chicane, watching a chicane. Preston Shear. Can you kind of two-man that little area? I believe in you. All right, just got to check a couple transponders here. This one is Talon Didi. And then we've also got Adam Chidara. All right, everybody is checked in. Straightaway is now closed. Come on now. There we go. The order in this one going to be Talon Didi, Craig O'Brien, Elliot Castillo, Todd Filter, Pat Hamill, Adam Chidara, and Andrew Schultz. Looks like we have an ample amount of marshals. Drivers, I'm going to call you by name. Talon. Craig. Elliot. Filter. Hamill. Chidara. And Andrew Schultz. Settle in out there, settle in. Faster car comes up on you, give him some room. Excellent driving there. Smart move, live to race another day. These guys working around for lap number 1. Didi coming out swinging. O'Brien, Chidara, Schultz, Hamill, Filter, and Castillo. Watch coming on the straight. And that first tabletop. Watching the first tabletop. Clear now. Watch going to the chicane. Clear now. 3:55 to go in this one. Craig O'Brien taking over the top now. 18 lap pace. Didi down to the 2. 17 lap run for him. Hamill. Filter on a 16. Chidara 16. Hamill dropping down here. Order all shuffling around. 3:40 to go. Now it's O'Brien, Didi, Filter, Chidara, Schultz, Hamill, Castillo, watching the chicane. Schultz on his lid. Clear now. O'Brien, last time by, 17.6, 17 and a 5.01 is his pace. 0.3 for Didi. Separation 0.6 up front. Filter in that 3 spot, 16 and a 5.01 for him. 5.11 for Chidara, 5.13 for Schultz, 15 lap run for Hamill, 11 lap run for Castillo. Elliot rocking some new-looking paint out there. White, blue, and gold. Looking good. Working through the chicane. Nice and easy, Elliot. Just be off the gas in the corners. Smart driving there. Castillo gives Filter room. These guys working together beautifully. 2:50 to go. O'Brien hanging on to the top spot. The margin, though, is getting narrow. 0.08 of a second between O'Brien and Didi right now. Filter in that 3 spot. He's about 7 seconds off that lead battle. Now down to 6.9. Schultz in the 4. Chidara, Hamill, and Castillo. Schultz going 18.5 last time by. His best lap of the race. Castillo throws down his best lap. 21.9. Elliot got the leader up on him. Excellent driving there. Second place to follow, Elliot. Next car behind you will be second place. Watching the chicane. Oh, man, Hamill doing a donut there, trying to get on the gas out in the Toolies. Quick little spin around for Hamill. That was our P6 driver. 22.8 across the line. Rough lap for Hamill. 3 down, 2 to go. Craig out front, 17 and a 5.01. Separated generously now from Talon Didi. Rough lap for Didi. Backs it up with his best lap of the race. So Didi, previous lap 22.0, backs it up with a 17.5, his hot lap. Hot lap of this qualifier, though, going to go to Craig O'Brien, 17.4. Watching the sweeper go low. Low in the sweeper. Low, low, low. Thank you, Chris. Didi going back-to-back 17.5s, closing the gap ever so slightly here on Craig O'Brien. Still a 4-second deficit with 1:25 to go. Filter throwing down an 18.1, his best lap of the race. Puts him up to a 17-lap pace now, so top 3 guys on 17-lap runs. O'Brien, Didi, and Filter. Chidara in that 4 spot on a 16. 5.16 to be specific. Hamill, 5.19. Andrew Schultz, 15-lap run. Castillo on a 12. Watching that kids table. Clear now. Castillo on his lid. Marshall right on it. 4 down, 1 to go. 1 minute left. KOB. Oh, turns in just a bit early in that chicane section. Marshall has to leap over him. So our leader down the line here. It was 2.5 seconds in favor of Craig O'Brien the previous lap. With 35 seconds to go, now it is Talon Dede out to the front. 1.2 in his favor. 17 and a 5.08 is his pace. 09 for Craig O'Brien. Watch it after the sweeper. Clear now. Filter getting it wrong. Oh, man, getting caught up with a lap car. Castillo getting spun around there. So Filter doing his best lap last time by. Going to back it up with a questionable one. 15 seconds to go. It's Dede out front now. 17 and a 5.07 the pace, good enough to put him at the top of the board. O'Brien in that 2 spot, about 2.1 seconds off of Dede. Filter in the 3, only the top 2 guys on 17 lap pace now. Filter down to a 16. Hamill, Chidara, Schultz, Castillo. Time is expired. Keep going till I call your name. Keep going, keep going. Talon Dede, you are done. Todd Filter, you are done. Craig O'Brien, done. Everybody else keep going. Hamill done. Hot lap on the last lap. Andrew Schultz done. Chidara done. Waiting on one more. The copper and blue. All in, all done. Marshals on your blowers, please. Talon Dede going to take that one. 17 and a 5.06. Good enough to put him on top. Craig O'Brien in that 2 spot. 17 and a 5.10 for him. 16.02 for Filter. 08 for Hamill. 16 and a 5.10 for Chidara. 15 lap run for Schultz. And 12 for Elliot Castillo. Hold the cars while the blowers are going, please. Hold the cars while the blowers are going. Heat number 4 making their way to the track right now. We'll get the marshals spread out here. These guys off the track. All right, you guys can go ahead and cautiously roll them out. Kids table, kids table. All right, everybody is checked in. The order in this one going to be Nick Peters, Dalton Castillo. Don't worry, nobody saw that. Lucas. Brian Letarte, number 3. Michelle Letarte, number 4. Mike Chesney, 5. Lucas Lenhart, 6. Dan Nichols, 7. Filter's just watching that one corner. Pat's got his running shoes on. All right. Heat number 4, 21.5 Spec Buggy. I'm going to call you guys by name. Nick Peters. Dalton Castillo. Brian Letarte. Michelle Letarte. Mike Chesney. Lucas Lenhart. And Dan Nickel. Working our way through the points order right now. This is heat 4 of 5 on the track right now. Call them your B sort if you want. These guys are the B sort of points. We're going to let them cycle around for a few laps here. One minute in, 4 minutes to go. It's looking like Castillo out front. Castillo working in front of the stand. Elliot, you watch that corner. You're just that one right there. Keep your eye on it. Castillo working that chicane section right now. which behind the car that could only be Nick Peters with that classic body on there, which it definitely is. So Castillo working behind Nick Peters on track. Those two going over the kids' table. Little bounce off the pipe there for Castillo. And again, two little miscues there from Dalton Castillo, the white, pink, and black, working down the line. 18-7 with the bobble, 17 and a 5-16 is the pace. Nick Peters in that 2 spot, 17-8 across the line for him, hot lap of the race. 16 and a 5:01, just 0.9 seconds behind Castillo right now. And Letard another 10th back. Chesney 7/10 off of them. Small break to Michelle, Nickel, and Lenhart. So top 6 cars right now separated by about 3 seconds with 2:55 to go. Castillo leading them out, working through the chicane. Coming up on Lenhart and Nickel. Leader on Nickel. Leader on Lenhart. Oh, man, these guys working it out. Have you ever seen Dalton Castillo sew? Because he just threaded the needle. 2:40 to go. Leader working through that chicane. 18-4 last time by across the line. 17 and a 5:15 is his pace. He's got 3/10 on scratch at Nick Peters, taking over the top spot now. The margin's 1/10 in Peters' favor. Peters laying down hot lap of the heat. 17-7 last time by with 2:15 to go. Peters in that classic looking all white, working on the back of Michelle right now. Through the sweeper. Excellent driving there. Give and take. That's how you do it. 2:05 on the clock. Peters in the all white wing. Working that chicane section at the moment. 17 and a 5:13 to pace. He's got 4/10 on Castillo. Letard in that 3 spot. Top 2 on 17 lap runs. Letard 16 and a 5:01. 05 for Chesney. So Brian and Mike Chesney separated by 1.8 right now with 1:40 to go. Then we got Michelle, Nickel, and Lenhart. Those 3 separated by about 2.5 seconds. 1:35 to go. Leader working that carousel corner, coming up on Chesney. These guys working together. Chesney gives him the perfect amount of room. Tucks in, catches the draft. 1:20 on the clock. Peters out front. Chesney residing in that number 4 position right now. Trying to use the leader to his advantage. Reel in Brian Letart currently in that 3 spot. Peters, all white. 17, 5:11. Watch coming on to straight. Go low, coming on to straight. Oh, man, that was Letart getting caught up. Brian Letart, that is. That's going to move Mike Chesney to the 3. 1 minute to go. Now it's Peters, Castillo, Chesney. Peters gapping now slightly. He's got about a 4.9 second lead on Castillo, who's got 6.9 seconds on Chesney. Chesney, though, only has 7/100ths on Letart. Then we got Michelle, Nickel, and Lenhart. 40 seconds to go in this one. Race number 5, you guys are up next. Work together in that kids' table. These guys grouping up. Leader in the mix. Leader on Lenhart, and then Brian Letart. Perfect driving there. Oh, Lucas turns in just a bit early. Tries to tuck in and follow the leader. Slight miscue there from Lenhart in the Macintosh mobile. Ten seconds to go in this one. Peter and Brian working it out. Brian woes up. Perfect driving there. Down the line. 5 seconds to go. Peter, 17 and a 5:10. Good enough to put him second in the order right now. Castillo, 16 and a 5 flat. 06 for Letart and Chesney. So Letart and Chesney going to come down to the final laps here. 1/10 separation. Everybody is still live. Work together to the end. Work together to the end. Peters, you're done. First one. Brian Letart done. Lucas Lenhart done. Mike Chesney done. Michelle Letart done. Castillo is done. Waiting on that green, white, and black. Still racing. One more, Andrew Schultz. Here he comes down the line. And that's it. All in, all done. Marshals on your blowers, please. Nick Peters going to take that one. 17 and a 5:10. 5:17 for Castillo. Mike Chesney going to get Letart on the last lap there by 1. Mike Chesney, 16 and a 5:06.623. Letart, 0.628. 5/1000ths of a second between Chesney and Letart right there. To the bitter end. Michelle Letart, hot lap on the last lap for her. 16 and a 5:11 is her pace. 5:16 for Nickel. Dan Nickel, welcome to the 16 lap club. Lucas Lenhart, 15 and a 5:02. Mike Chesney, that was your best run on the layout by 3 seconds. Yes, clap. Chesney, would you like to switch with Michelle, please? You stand in the middle and watch both those corners. Have her switch over to the chicane. And then you're going to be in the middle, Chesney. You got both those corners. Yeah. You're going to need audio cues for that one. Go ahead and roll them around and check them in. Heat number 5. These are your top 7 drivers in the Sweet Heat Series right now. Round number 4, Jamie Tenney's is your points leader. Larry Wright, the 4th, your incumbent champion. Danny Detloff, currently 3rd in the points position right now. Detloff, new to the 21.5 Series and coming out swinging. Then we got Ward, Mandela, O'Brien, and Pfeiffer. All right. The order one more time. Tenney's, Wright, Detloff, Ward, Mandela, O'Brien, and Pfeiffer. Race number 5. I'm going to call you by name. Marshals, look alive. Tenney's, Wright, Detloff, Ward, Mandela, O'Brien, and Pfeiffer. Top 7 guys in the Sweet Heat Series right now working lap number 1. Lap number 1 going to go to Tyler O'Brien. Mandela, Tenney's, Ward, Wright, Detloff, and Pfeiffer. 4 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in this one. O'Brien and Wright coming out on 18-lap runs. Mandela as well. Fast 17s for Tenney's, Ward, and Detloff. We're 55 seconds in, 4:05 to go. All these guys got 2 laps in the books, working lap number 3 right now. O'Brien across the line. It's a 17.6, 18 and a 5, 14.2. Larry Wright, 0.3, 18 and a 5, 15 for Mandela. So 2/10 separation between the top 3 cars right now. Scratch that. Top 5 cars all within about 1.5 seconds at this moment. That's O'Brien, Mandela, Wright, Tenney's, Ward. Then we got Detloff and Pfeiffer not far off. 1:30 in, 3:30 to go. T.O.B. your leader in this one right now. Working through the chicane. White and pink. Working a tabletop section right now. 2023 X-Ray car working through the sweeper. 17.9 across the line for O'Brien. Not fast enough. Larry Wright goes 17.0. Hot lap of the race. Moves him to the top. Backs it up with a 17.5. 18 and a 5.13 is his pace. 5.14 for Mandela. O'Brien down to the 3. Now it's O'Brien, Mandela. Every lap, these guys shuffling back and forth. 2 down, 3 to go. It's Wright, O'Brien, and Mandela. Detloff up to the 4. Ward, Pfeiffer, and Tenney's. Top 3 guys on 18-lap runs. 5.13 for Wright, 5.16 for O'Brien and Mandela. Detloff, 17 and a 5.01. Watching the chicane. Clear now. That was Larry Wright on his lid. He was your leader. Larry in that white, red, and black working down the line. Last time by 17.1. Wright going to back it up with a 19.7 from the 1 to the 3. Halfway down, halfway to go. Skylar Mandela to the point. 17.1 last time by. His hot lap when it matters. Watching the chicane. Someone gets it wrong again. That looks like Larry, and it was. 2:15 to go here. Larry making 2 critical errors. No room for that in the 21.5 series. Larry Wright from the 3 to the 7. 2:05 to go. Now it's Mandela, O'Brien, and Detloff watching in front of the stand. Ward, Pfeiffer, Tenney's, and Wright. T.O.B. throws down a 17.2 on lap 9. His best lap puts him within 0.2 of Mandela. Detloff only 2.3 seconds off that lead battle. Now it's Ward, Detloff, Tenney's, Pfeiffer, and Wright. Leader still, Mandela. Ward to the 2, Detloff down to the 3. 1:40 to go. Leader working down the line. He's in that green, purple, and white. He's coming up on right if and when. Mandela around the carousel corner. In front of the driver's stand. Last time by 17-4. Skylar Mandela, the only one on an 18-lap run now at this point. 18 and a 5:15. Leader working down the straightaway. 17-7 that time by. Watch it after a sweeper. Detloff on his lid. Marshall right on it. So that was P3 on his lid. Danny D in that blue with the yellow flames. He's working over to Kid's table right now. He was your third place driver. That is definitely going to shuffle him down. The pace right now between 2 and 7. 17 and a 5:02, 02, 03, 03, 04, 06. That's Ward, O'Brien, Tenney's, Pfeiffer, Wright, and Detloff. From positions 2 to 7, they are separated by 2 seconds right now. 45 seconds to go. Mandela with a 2.8 second lead. That's a monster lead in 21.5 buggy right now. He's working over to Kid's table, making that thing look good. Through to chicane, tidy lines there for young Skylar. 30 seconds to go. Last time by 17-7. Mandela across the line. 17-6. 18 and a 5:16 to pace. 2.8 the gap on Jake Ward in that 2 spot. Watch it in front of the stand. Mandela makes a mistake. No Marshall needed there, but he's going to lose all that margin he had. 13 seconds to go. Leader on the back of Ward. Ward jockeying for that top spot. We're down to 1.5 the gap now. Ward gives it up. Mandela takes the top spot once again. Keep it clean to the end here. Clean to the end. It's Mandela, Ward, O'Brien. Tenney's, Wright, Pfeiffer, and Detloff. Wright is done. Tenney's is done. Mandela, Ward, you guys are done. Detloff done. Waiting on O'Brien and Pfeiffer. Waiting on Pfeiffer. And that's it. All in, all done. Skylar Mandela takes the TQ for round number 1. 17 and a 5 flat. 02. 17 and a 5. Oh, my God. Jake Ward in the 2 spot, 17 and a 5:02.7. Larry Wright, 0.8. Tenney's, 0.93. O'Brien, 0.95. Are you kidding me? Ward, Wright, Tenney's, and O'Brien separated by less than 0.3 of a second. That is incredible. Pfeiffer in that 6 spot, 17 and a 5:05.0, Detloff 0.7. Oh my goodness. Wow. That is awesome. All right, guys, I'm going to get round 2 separated here. I'm still in awe after that previous qualifier. We're going to take a very short break, probably, I would say, like 10 or 12 minutes, give you some time. The track will be open for practice. There's going to be a resort, so make sure you check the heat sheets. I'm going to generate them momentarily. Talon, you got to check your front camber. I feel like you have either totally zero or maybe it just looks like it like that. Check your right front camber, but check them both. They kind of look like you need a little more camber. All right, heat should be coming off the printer momentarily. Heat should be coming off the printer momentarily. Timer is on the screen. If you need more time, please let me know. There was a resort, so make sure you check the heat sheets. I'm going to hang them up if someone has not already. Otherwise, they are on trackside.liverc.com. I got the hiccups. All right. Race number 1, start making your way to the track. Race number 5, you guys are out to Marshall. So to the driver's stand, I need Stephen Key, Les Farjone, David Allen, Johnny Wells, Matthew Erdman, Chris Farina, Micah Kranz, and Elliot Castillo. You guys are up to race. And marshalling, I'm going to need Skylar Mandela, Jake Ward, Larry Wright IV, Jamie Tenney's, Tyler O'Brien, Todd Pfeiffer, and Danny Detloff. Out to Marshall. Sweet Heat, round number 4. Qualifying round 2 about to kick off right at this very moment. Yeah? Was there not for your race? We're missing one more. There he is. All right, you guys go ahead and roll him around, check him in. Here comes JT. Oops. Just waiting on a check-in from Mr. Kranz. Straightaway is closed for everybody besides Micah. All right, everybody has checked in. The order in this one going to be Stephen Key, Les Farjone, David Allen, John Wells, Matthew Erdman, Chris Farina, Micah Kranz, and Elliot Castillo. You observing the... All right. Drivers, I'm going to call you guys by name. Marshals, look alive. Steven. Les. David Allen. John Wells. Matt Erdman. Chris Farina. Micah Kranz. And Elliot Castillo. Straightaway go high. Clear now. Resort round number 2 on the track right now. Race number 1, 21.5 spec buggy. Watch going on the straightaway go high. Clear now. 40 seconds in, 4:20 to go. Matt Erdman out front. Farjone, Allen, Kranz, Castillo, Wells, Key, and Farina. A lot of racing left to go in this one. These guys are already cycling around for only what is lap 2 of what could be a 16-lap run here. Erdman out front. Work together. Oh, close call there coming on the straightaway. Castillo and Key. Patience, Elliott, work together. Patience, Elliott, work together. 1:20 in, 3:40 to go. These guys grouping up after the kids' table. Patience, guys. Trigger goes both ways. It will help you in the long run. Matt Erdman out front. 17-lap pace. Watch coming on the straight. Clear now. Detloff was there. Now it's Les Farjone to the front. Les working the kids' table. Yellow car, yellow wheels through the chicane. 16 and a 5. 14 is his pace. 5:17 for Erdman. 7/10 separate between Farjone and Erdman. Now it's Erdman, Wells, Farjone, Kranz, Key, Allen, Farina, and Castillo. 2 down, 3 to go. These guys all grouping up the center of the track. Erdman in that pink, purple, and white. Yellow wheels working on the back of Farjone. Johnny Wells in that 2 spot. Wells in that yellow and black kids table right now through the chicane. A little bit of orange trim on there for Wells. Halfway down, halfway to go. Erdman across the line, 19.5. He's working on the back of Farjone and Key. Work together, guys. Oh, Erdman tried to check up just a little bit. Just got snagged in that wing. Marshall doing what he can. Little dance. 2:15 to go. That could shuffle the order around just a bit here. Erdman working down the line. 22.7 lap time there for Matthew Erdman. Hangs on to the top spot, though. 16 and a 5, 16 the pace. 3 down, 2 to go. Stephen Key in that 2 spot. 15 and a 5.07 for him. 5.11 for Wells. 5.12 for Farjone. 5.19 for Kranz. 5.20 for David Allen. So all these guys pretty close. Farina in that number 7 spot. 13 lap run for him and 12 lap run for Elliot Castillo. Watch it in the sweeper. Marshall, I don't know what's wrong with that, Marshall. 1:35 to go. Erdman, Key, Farjone. $1:15 to go in this one. Matty Erdman hanging out in the number 1 position the duration of this race. Watching a sweeper. Go low in the sweeper. Still there. Go low in the sweeper. Good patience there from Elliott. 1:05 to go. Leader working a kid's table. Purple, pink, and white. Yellow wheels. Working on to straightaway now. Watch it after the sweeper. Oh, man. Footwork there from Tennies. Your points leader in the Sweet Heat Series. Watch it in front of the stand. Keep it close to the pipe. Keep it close to the pipe. Clear now. Watch it going up the hill. Oh, man. Elliott coming in hot. Farjone over the top of Stephen Key. 35 seconds to go. Work together, guys. Erdman, 19.2 across the line. 16 and a 5.13 is his pace. He's looking to move up 11 spots on the grid right now. Farjone in that 2 spot. Farjone on his lid in the sweeper. 15 and a 5.08 for him. 5.17 for Key, Kranz, and Wells. Right now, John Wells, David Allen, Stephen Key, and Micah Kranz separated by less than 1 second. Chris Farina in that 7 spot. Elliot Castillo in the 8. Time is about to expire. Keep going until I call your name. Watch on the straightaway. Go high on the straight. Clear now. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Everybody is still live. Everybody is still live. Keep going. Les Farjone, Stephen Key, you guys are done. Please pull offline. Matthew Erdman is done. Johnny Wells, David Allen, you guys are done. Elliot Castillo, Chris Farina waiting on one more. Here he comes. And that's it, all in all done. Skylar Mandela. Skylar Mandela. Oh, Danny's got it. You're lucky. You're lucky. Matthew Erdman going to take that one. 16 and a 5.11. 15 and a 5.11 for Les Farjone. His best run on the layout. Stephen Key, 15 and a 5.14. 5.15 for Wells, 0.7. Micah Kranz, 0.9. 15 and a 5.19 for David Allen. 14 and a 5.14 for Chris Farina. And Elliot Castillo, 12 and a 5.09. Set those cars down right out to Marshall. Let these guys get the track blown off before we attempt to do any sort of a warm-up. Stephen Key, you can come help Mr. Farina over here. Chris Farina, you want to slide over one spot? All right, you guys go ahead, roll them around, check them in. Thank you for your patience. Race number 2, warming up the tires right now. 21.5 Spec Buggy is the class. Sweet Heat is the series. And number 4 is the round. All right, everybody is checked in. The straightaway is closed. The order is going to be Dan Nickel, Dusty Flunker, Lucas Lenhart, Andrew Schultz, Paul Reinick, Ian Lenhart, and Chris Kern. All right, marshals, look alive. Drivers, I will call you by name. Dan Nickel, Dusty Flunker, Lucas Lenhart, Andrew Schultz, Paul Reinick, Ian Lenhart, and a Christopher Kern. Nice and easy out there, guys. Watch the kids' table. Clear now. Little micro bobble there from Lucas Lenhart. No marshal needed. Little flutter of the heart on lap 1 there. Kern up on the curbing. And again, these guys settling in. Tires warming up, grip increasing. 40 seconds into this one. 1 lap in the books for all these guys. It's Schultz, Lenhart, Flunker, Nickel, Reinick, Lenhart, and Kern. Two laps in the books. Andrew Schultz, your early leader. Rocking that X-ray ride through the chicane. Watch going into the chicane. Clear now. Schultz net all pink down the line. 18.3 last time by for him. Hot lap on lap 3. Just getting in the groove now. 16 and a 5.02 is his early pace. Flunker in that 2 spot. 16 and a 5.12. 5.18 for Nickel. 15 lap runs for the rest of the field with 3.40 to go. Leader across the line. It's another 18.3. He's up to a 17 lap pace now. Up the hill for Schultz in front of the driver's stand. All pink with the white wheels. Flunker in that 2 spot. Flunker working his way over to tabletop section now. Him and Nickel trading real estate. Through the sweeper. Flunker in that red and black. A little bit of yellow trim on that one. Dan Nickel in the 3 spot directly behind him on track. Nickel in that green, white and black. These guys got the leader creeping up on him. So 1, 2, and 3. Not necessarily how you see him on track. Working down the line here. Flunker down the line. Nickel and Schultz. That's our top 3. Schultz, the all pink, actually leading him out by time. 16 and a 5.01 is his pace. 09 for Flunker. 16 and a 5.16 for Nickel. These guys working together. Good patience there. Reinick in that 4 spot. Reinick in that white. Maybe a navy blue. I believe that's the Duffmobile. All white wing. Over to tabletop now. Down the straightaway. Chris Kern in the number 5 position. Ian Lenhart in the 6. Lucas Lenhart in the 7. 2:25 to go. Someone gets it wrong. Nickel up on the curbing there. That was our number 3 driver on his lid. Schultz, 19.2 across the line. Going to maintain that lead. 4.7 seconds to gap right now between Schultz and Flunker. Schultz in the all-pink kids table. Second place in that black and red with that good-looking black wing directly behind him on track. Nickel hangs on to the 3 spot. Reinick, Lenhart, Kern, and Lucas Lenhart. Top 2 guys, only guys on 16 lap pace at this moment. Dan Nickel, 15 in a flat. 0.2 for Reinick. 0.3 for Lenhart. 0.3 for Kern. 0.4 for Lucas Lenhart. So right now, Dan Nickel, Reinick, Kern, Lenhart, and Lenhart all separated by about less than 2 seconds right now. 1:35 to go. Reinick takes over the 3 spot. Kern to the 4. Nickel down to the 5. Lenhart and Lenhart straight away. Watch in the middle. Go high in the straight. Go high in the straight. Clear now. Lucas Lenhart getting spun around there. 1:20 to go in this one. Schultz stretching it out. 5.7 the lead now over Flunker in the 2. Kern up to the 3. Nickel, Reinick, Ian, and Lucas. Oh, Andrew gets it wrong. You're all pink on his lid. He had 5.7 to spare. Should still maintain that top position. 21.5, though, you don't really have a lot of margin when it comes down to overall qualifying. Schultz going to need every second he can get. 55 seconds to go. Work together. Second place on Ian Lenhart. Oh, Flunker on his lid. Schultz in the pipe. Could we see Chris Kern to the point? Watch it coming on the straight. Good toss there from Kranz. It worked out. 35 seconds to go. It's tightening up. Schultz in the front. 2.9 the gap now. Kern maintaining that 3. Nickel, Reineck, Ian, and Lucas. 25 seconds to go. Watch it after the triple. It broke, Lucas? It's broke. Just set it down, Johnny. 15 seconds to go in this one. Schultz, Flunker, Kern, Nickel, Reineck, Lenhart, and Lucas Lenhart out with some problems. Closest battle right now between Kern and Dan Nickel. Separation 1.2. Now it's 2/10. Time has expired. Keep going until I call your name. Going to come down to the last couple laps here between Chris and Dan. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Paul Reineck, you are the first one done. Andrew Schultz done. Dusty Flunker is done. Dan Nickel, you're done. Waiting on 2 more. Waiting on the all yellow and waiting on that pink and seafoam green looking yellow. And that's it. All in, all done. Marshals on your blowers, please. Dave Allen. Dave Allen. Yeah, you got it. Les, you got to grab the blower and then blow it in the direction of the track and then blow it to the number 3. So Andrew Schultz going to take that one. 16 and a 5:07. 16 and a 5:13 for Dusty Flunker. Chris Kern, 16 and a 5:14. Welcome to the 16 lap club, Chris. Dan Nickel, 16 and a 5:17. 15 for Reineck. 15 for Lenhart. All right, race number 3. Go ahead, roll them around, check them in. Heat 3 of 5, 21.5 spec buggy, warming them up right now. Last chance round of qualifying here. Everybody is checked in. Straightaway is now closed. The order in this race is going to be Mike Chesney, Brian Letarte, Travis Mashinsky, Fran Bonji, Pat Hamill, Adam Chidara, and Michelle Letarte. That'll work out there. All right. Marshals, look alive. Drivers, I will call you by name. Mike Chesney, Brian Letarte, Travis Mashinsky, Fran Bonji, Patrick Hamill, Adam Chidara, and Michelle Letarte. Race number 3, working their opening laps right now. Race number 4 should be ready to go. Number 5 should be thinking about it. Sweet Heat round number 4 on the track right now. The battle of lap 1 going to go to Pat Hamill. Letarte, Mashinsky, Chidara, Michelle, Chesney, and Bonji. Watch it after a triple. Triple. Put him on this side, Andrew. Thank you. Bonji in the penalty zone there on lap number 2. 3:45 to go in this one. Pat Hamill out front. 17 and a 5:06 the pace off of Hamill. 17 and a 5:14 for Mashinsky. Chidara in that 3 spot. Mashinsky taking over the lead now. Hamill dropping from the 1 to the 3. So now it's Travis, Adam, and Pat. Top 2 on 17 lap runs. Hamill in the 3. Him and Letarte 16 and a flat. All these guys shuffling around. Now it's Travis, Brian. Now it's Travis, Pat. Now it's Travis, Adam. The only thing that's a constant here is Travis Mashinsky on the point. 17 and a 5:15. Mashinsky working down the line. Throws down an 18-1, his best lap of the race on lap number 6. Stretches his lead out to a mere 0.4 of a second. Now 0.2 of a second over Adam Chidara. Hamill in the 3 spot. Michelle, Brian, Chesney, and Bonji. Watching in front of the stand. Go high. Go wide. Clear now. Mashinsky, 18-4 across the line. Chidara does his best lap the previous. Working across the line here. Chidara dropping from the 2 to the 3. So now it's Mashinsky, Hamill. Separation 0.3. Halfway down, halfway to go. Watching the chicane. Clear now. Chesney on his lid. Quick little bobble there. Hot lap last time by for Chesney. 18-4. Going to back it up with a rougher one. 20.6. So from top to bottom, it's Mashinsky, Hamill, Chidara, Michelle, Brian, Mike, and Fran Bonji work together, work together. Good patience there. That second place directly in front of you, Mike Chesney. Second place directly behind you, Brian Letarte. 3 down, 2 to go. Watch a kid's table. Keep it tight. Mashinsky out front and inching away right now. 0.8 of a second in his favor. Chidara in the 2. Chidara's got 1.5 on Hamill in that 3 spot. Little gap to Michelle, Brian, Chesney, and Bonji. Closest battle going to be Mashinsky and Chidara. It's slim now, 0.1. 1:40 to go. Mashinsky working in front of the stand. White, flow yellow, yellow wheels working into the chicane. Chidara in that purple and silver. Mashinsky on his lid. Marshall right on it. So that's going to give the top spot to Adam Chidara. 1:20 to go. Mashinsky from the 1 to the 5. Chidara throws down an 18-1, his best lap when it counts. He's got 1.1 seconds on Pat Hamill in that 2 spot. Brian Letarte promoted to the 3. Michelle, Travis, Mike, and Fran Bonji. 1:05 to go. 19 flat last time by for Chidara. It's down to 0.9 now, him and Hamill. Hamill in that dark navy blue with the yellow trim, working through the chicane. Tidy line there for Patrick Hamill. Watch it going in the chicane. Chesney on his lid. Hamill throws down an 18 flat, a stout lap for him. 0.8 of a second. Chidara throws down another fast one. 18-1, 40 seconds to go. Chidara, Hamill, Letarte, Mashinsky, Michelle, Bonji, and Chesney. Top 2, the only ones on 17 lap pace right now. Brian Letarte, 16 and a 5:03. 0.4 for Mashinsky. 0.6 for Michelle. 16 and a 5:14 for Bonji. 5:15 for Chesney. 18 seconds to go. Leader is that purple and silver. Working over the tabletop and onto the straightaway now. Chidara, maybe a little whip there. Cross the line, 18-2. It's 0.3, him and Hamill. Time is about to expire. It's going to come down to the very end here. Brian giving Pat an adequate amount of room. Excellent driving there for Brian and Pat. Hamill across the line. It's a 17-7 hot lap of the race. Keep going. Brian Letarte, you are done. Brian Letarte, you are done. Mashinsky done. Going to come down to the end here between Hamill and Chidara. Hamill turning it up on the second last lap here. 18-1 across the line for Hamill. Chidara, 18-1. Oh, my God. All in, all done. Marshals on your blowers, please. Pat Hamill going to take that one. 17 and a 5, 14.4. Chidara, 0.5. Separation, 0.1 of a second. Comes down to the last lap there. Hamill and Chidara. Brian Letarte coming home third. 16 and a 5:03. 0.1 for him. 0.8 for Mashinsky. Michelle, 16 and a 5:06. 5:11 for Bonji. And 5:12 for Mike Chesney. That was close, Breadbasket Brian. We got to get you a guest microphone. Yeah, where's the wireless? We could do a little back and forth type thing, like sports commentators. Huh? Hop in. Do the A sort. You want to announce this one? All right. You want to go to the top of the hill? Perfect. All right, you guys go ahead and roll them around. Check them in, please. Thank you, Pat. Yeah, you got them. You stay in the middle, and you got the chameleon eyes going on right there, Pat. 270 degrees of view. Wide-angle Hamill, that's what they call him in the streets. He is the peripheral prince. Yes, legend has it. All right, the order in this one is going to be Talon Dede, Nick Peters, Craig O'Brien, Blaine Gould, Dalton Castillo, Preston Shear, and TF Todd Filter. All right, our marshals are adequately placed. We've got peripheral Pat in the middle. He's got it covered. Drivers, I'm going to call you by name. Talon, Nick Peters, Craig O'Brien, Blaine Gould, Dalton Castillo, Preston Shear, and TF Todd Filter. Heat 4 of 5 on the track right now. This is our B sort. Top 7 guys coming up next. These guys all jockeying for a spot in that coveted top 8. Locked into the A main feature. .50 seconds into this one. We got Talon Dede on the point. Craig O'Brien, Shear, Gould, Castillo, Peters, and Filter. Dede and O'Brien on 18 lap paces early on. Half a second separates the two. Shear in that 3 spot, 17 in a flat. Scratch at Shear, moving down a little bit on the order. Now it's Gould, Peters, Filter, Shear, Castillo. 3:45 to go. The top 2 remains the same. Dede and O'Brien. 18 laps is the pace. 1/10 the separation now. Half a second back from them, Blaine Gould. Another 3/10 is Peters. 8 more tenths is Filter, and 3 more tenths is Shear. Then the smallest break there to Dalton Castillo in the number 7 position with 3:25 to go. Dede is out front. He's working through the chicane right now. Yellow, blue, and white. White wheels over the tabletop onto the straightaway. Craig O'Brien in that 2 spot. Maroon, orange, white on the straightaway now. Yellow wheels. Blaine Gould in the 3. Gould in that white and red working across the line. Then we got Peters, Filter, Shear, and Castillo. 2 down, 3 to go. Top 2 now separated by 5/100ths of a second. Dede and O'Brien, both on an 18 and a 5/16. Dede working up the hill, now in front of the driver's stand. Double and single. O'Brien working behind Peters on track. Nick Peters in that all white, working through the chicane. O'Brien directly behind him. Craig O'Brien taking over the top side. Sweeper, go high or low. Go high or low. Clear now. Filter getting it wrong. Lets the leader go by. Tucks in, follows him, catching the draft here. Dede back to the front. O'Brien back to the 2. Separation still 5/100ths with 2:20 on the clock. They've got a half a second gap on Nick Peters in the 3 spot. Watching the chicane. Shear in the 4. Gould, Castillo, and Filter. 2:05 to go. O'Brien back to the front through the chicane. Didi across the line. Now it's O'Brien. In the number one, the margin now 0.7 of a second. Craig O'Brien starting to stretch it out just a bit. Over Talon Didi in that 2 spot. Watch it going to the table. Clear now. Someone getting it wrong there. That was Shear. 140 to go. O'Brien, Didi, Peters, Gould, Shear, Castillo, and Filter. O'Brien and Didi separated by 0.4. Didi and Peters separated by 0.4. Peters and Gould separated by 0.4. Shear and Castillo separated by 0.9. 120 to go. All these guys incredibly close. One bobble will shuffle you many, many positions in the order. 1:10 on the clock. Didi navigating the traffic excellently. Castillo playing well with others. 4 down, 1 to go. 8/100 separate the top 2 cars. Watch it going into the kids' table. Good marshalling there from Fran Bonji. Castillo on his lid. That was our number 6 driver. 5/100 up front. 45 seconds to go. Didi back to the front. O'Brien with a relatively slow lap there. 18 flat. Going to drop him down to the 2. Didi now 3/10 worth of breathing room here. Our leader working down the straightaway. Cross the line. 17.4 for young Talon Didi. Up on the curbing just a little bit there. Going to give a couple tenths back to Craig O'Brien. O'Brien throws down 17.6. It's 4/10 the gap up front. 20 seconds to go. Didi hugging that curb and exiting the chicane. Tight to the pipe on the straightaway here. Working a lap now, 17.5. 18 and a 5, 17 apace. Talon Didi on a TQ run right now. Kids table, keep it tight. Clear now. 5 seconds to go. Leader coming up on Filter if and when. You guys are going to get a couple more. Keep it clean. Didi, O'Brien, Peters, Gould, Shear, Castillo, and Filter. Everybody is still going. Oh, man, Filter tries to give Didi a little room there. Catches some dust. Craig O'Brien and Nick Peters, you are done. Racing in front of you, Nick Peters. Racing in front of you, Nick Peters. Thank you. Dalton Castillo, done. Blaine Gould, done. Waiting on a few more. Talon Didi is done. Waiting on Shear, done. Waiting on Filter. All in, all done. Talon Didi taking the TQ right now, tentatively 18 and a 5, 16. Craig O'Brien, 17 and a 5 flat. Good enough to put him second at the moment. Peters, 17.501. Good enough for 4th. Gould, 17.502. Good enough for 5th. Then we got Shear, Castillo, and Filter. All right, let's get the guys from the last race out to Marshall here. Race number 5, getting ready to warm them up. All right, you guys go ahead and check them in. Nice and easy. Don't wreck them before you check them. Race number 5, warming them up right now. This is our A sort. This evening for the Sweet Heat Series, round number 4. Skylar Mandela is your top qualifier. Talon Didi has something to say about that, throwing down a number 1 time in the previous race. Watching in front of the stand, watching in front of the stand. Straightaway is closed, straightaway is closed. 1 lap, you know the rules. Don't cheat the system. Yeah. Who am I missing? Yeah, one of you guys decide who's going over there, but someone go over there. That's a little bit more, yeah. There's some faded footprints over there. You could just sit on the wall, or they don't really go that far. All right, the order in this one going to be Skylar Mandela going to lead us out. Jake Ward, Larry Wright the 4th, Jamie Tenney's, Tyler O'Brien, Todd Pfeiffer, and Danny Diesel Detloff. All right, guys. This is the A sort. I'm going to call you guys by name. We are gunning for Talendides, 18 and a 5:16.5. Skylar Mandela, Jake Ward, Larry Wright, Jamie Tenney's, Tyler O'Brien, Todd Pfeiffer, and Danny Detloff. Settle in, settle in. Top 7 guys this evening on the track right now, working lap number 1, Sweet Heat, round number 4 at Trackside in Brookfield, Wisconsin. Lap number 1 going to go to right. It's a 16.9 out of the gate. Detloff with a 17.5. Mandela 17.5. Ward with an 18.0. Tenney's 17.7. 18.0 from Pfeiffer. 18.2 from Tyler O'Brien. These guys already cycling around for their second and third laps. 55 seconds in, watch it in front of the driver's stand. Clear now. Watch it going into the tabletop. Clear now. 3:55 to go in this one. Larry Wright out front, 18 and a 5:09, the early pace. 5:15 for Ward, 5:15 for Mandela, 5:17 for Tenney's. 17 lap runs for O'Brien and Detloff. Pfeiffer on a 16. 120 in and 3:40 to go. Your leader is Larry Wright, the fourth. He's in that red, white, and black. One of the many red and white cars out there working into the chicane. White wheels. Over to tabletop section now. Working directly behind Jake Ward on track. Right across the line with a 17.2. Ward with a 17.2. Those are our leaders. Reverse order how you see them. Ward going into the small tabletop now. Right directly behind him on track. Those two separated by 0.9 of a second on time. Right closing the gap on Ward here. 3:10 to go. Now it's Larry out front, but Mandela moving up to the 2 spot, getting in this battle here. Ward down to the 3. Tenney's not out of this one. Then we got O'Brien. Detloff and Pfeiffer work together. Excellent driving there between Ward and Wright. Ward getting a little close to Larry there. These guys almost touching wheels. 2:50 to go. Wright with an 18.3 across the line. Mandela in that 2 spot. Separation half a second right now. Top 2 guys in TQ territory. Larry 18 and a 5.12. 5.14 for Mandela. Tenney's in that 3 spot. 17 and a 5 flat for him. Knocking on the door of an 18 lap run. Ward in the 4. 17.01. 0.3 for O'Brien. 0.6 for Detloff. 0.8 for Pfeiffer. Hot laps working last lap for O'Brien, Detloff, and Pfeiffer. These guys at the bottom of the board starting to get in the groove here. Larry, though, out front, across the line, 17.2. He's got 0.6 on Mandela. Mandela working the kids' table right now. Green, purple, and white. Working directly behind Danny Detloff on track. 3 down, 2 to go. Tenney's up on 2 wheels there, just a little bit. No Marshall needed, but he saves it. 1:55 to go. Ward, 17.2, last time by his best lap on lap number 10. Larry starting to stretch it out just a little bit here. He's got now 0.8 of a second on Skylar Mandela. Stretches it out to 1 second that last lap. Ward in the 3 spot. O'Brien, Tenney's down to the 5. Detloff and Pfeiffer. 1:30 to go. Leader working through the sweeper, 17.2 again, 18 and a 5.11. He's got 1.1 on Skylar Mandela now. Mandela working through the chicane. Ward in that 3 spot. Ward working over the kids' table. Straightaway, straightaway, straightaway. Go high in the straight. That was Detloff on his lid. That was our number 5 driver. 4 down, 1 to go. Skylar Mandela throws down a 16.9. So him and Wright both on 18 lap run. Separation 1 second right now. Mandela backs it up with a 17.3. Larry Wright 17.5. We're down to 0.8 now. Ward in that 3 spot. 17 and a flat for him. 0.1 for O'Brien. 0.3 for Tenney's. Little separation to Detloff and Pfeiffer. 35 seconds to go in this one. 0.8 the margin up front. Larry Wright with a 17.3. Last time by, 17.4 for Mandela. It's down to 0.9 now. 25 seconds to go. These guys getting grouped up. Wright working on the back of Pfeiffer, I believe. Leader on Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer getting a little squirrely coming on the straightaway. 15 seconds to go. Mandela to the front. Larry with a slow lap there. Watch it going up the hill. Larry right on his lid. 5 seconds to go. Mandela in control of this one now. Larry right falling apart like a dry biscuit here. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Everybody's still going. Leader behind you, O'Brien. That was close. Keep going, Skylar. Keep going. Ward is done. Larry Wright is done. Mandela done. Tenney's done. Waiting on Detloff. Waiting on Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer done. Detloff done. All in, all done. Skylar Mandela takes the TQ. 18 and a 5-13. Jake Ward, 17 and a 5 flat. 0.1. Right. 0.8. 17 and a 5-04 for Tenney's. 06.4 for O'Brien. 06.9 for Detloff. And 17 and a 5-08 for Todd Pfeiffer. All right, guys, that concludes qualifying. I'm going to get the mains configured here. For those of you who haven't raced the Sweet Heat Series before, we do bump ups. 2 guys will bump up from each race. The top 2 drivers in each race will bump up to the next race. We will run the mains all in a row. So after you bump up, you will have exactly 2 minutes to get your car ready for the immediate next race. That means you have 2 minutes to either change your battery, sauce your tires, make a small adjustment, whatever you need to do. We will wait 2 minutes, and then we will commence the following race. So we'll take a small break here, give you some time to get your cars ready, make any last-minute adjustments you might have for the main event. Get yourself dialed in. Sweet Heat round number 4. Main events coming up in about 15 minutes. Stay tuned. Watching a chicane. All right, guys, the way it is working out right now at this current moment, we are going to have an E-main, and that E-main is only going to have 4 drivers in it. So that means after race number 1, I am going to need a copious amount of marshals. I will need at least 5 volunteer marshals after race number 1, and I will probably need some volunteer marshals throughout the duration of the main events this evening. Ryan Thierfelder, you got me, and maybe Breadbasket Brian as well. So in about 15 minutes here, guys, we'll get going for the main events. I'm going to generate those now, and we will hang them up on the sheet. So 15 minutes, and we'll be live with 21.5 Spec Buggy E-Main. Race number 1 will be Micah Kranz, David Allen, Chris Farina, Elliot Castillo. You guys will all be in race number 1. And I'll need copious volunteer marshals both after race number 1 and throughout the duration of the race program this evening. If you need more time, let me know. The mains should be coming off the printer. Did you hang them up already, Larry? Mains are going up on the board now. Otherwise, they are on trackside.liverc.com. Race number 1. Start slowly getting them ready. You got about 2 minutes and 20 seconds until race number 1. There's only 4 drivers in race number 1, so I'm going to need some volunteer marshals after race 1 and throughout the duration of the evening. Please and thank you. Two drivers from each race will bump up into the next race. So that means the guys in race number 1, you got a 50-50 shot. The odds are in your favor. All right, race number 1 making their way to the track here. So let me get a couple guys from race number 5 out to Marshall. I will take Skylar, Talon, Craig, Jake Ward, and I'll take Larry Wright also. These guys warming them up already. Let's get my marshals out here. Thank you, Skylar. Gould will take there. Ward over there. Skylar. Brad. My camera. Peters, I will take you over there, please. And then we should be good. Everybody else who is abstaining from marshaling this first race, I'll take you in race number 2, please and thank you. Everybody is warmed up and checked in. Let's set the grid here. On that number 1 position, going to be Micah Kranz. The straightaway is closed. David Allen going to be on the 2. Chris Farina on the 3. And Elliot Castillo going to be on the number 4 spot. Where's Farina? There he is. David Allen, you're on the number 2. All right, our grid is set. This is race number 1, the 21.5 Spec Buggy E-Main. Top 2 drivers moving up to race number 2. You guys are going to go racing. You're going to take it easy on the sound of the tone. Nice and easy on this first lap. Good patience there, Elliot. Nice and easy. No need to force anything. Good check up there from Castillo. Nice and slow. Allen going to go for a tumble. Castillo going to turn in just a bit early. Micah Kranz on his lid. Looking like Chris Farina to the point on lap number 1. All these guys tapping out. Farina taking advantage. He's in that orange, yellow, black, yellow wheels. Farina leads him out. Kranz in that 2 spot. Kranz in that all blue with the black. Then we got David Allen and Elliot Castillo. Top 2 drivers looking to move up to race number 2. Farina up the hill right now, working in front of the stand. Him and Micah Kranz just got to work together. They have 4 minutes and 5 seconds to go. Kranz turning in a bit early there. Dave Allen closing the gap. So Dave Allen in that red, black, and blue. A little bit of white on there, white wheels. So transfer battle working across the line here. Farina gets it wrong. So now 1, 2, and 3 working a carousel corner. Farina leads him out. Dave Allen to the inside of Kranz. Makes it stick. Kranz on the way back. Gives him a little bump. Excellent racing here. Working through the chicane. Oh, Allen turns in just a bit early. Marshall on his way. Dave Allen going to lose just a bit of time there. 1:30 in, 3:30 to go. Oh, Kranz on the wrong side of the pipe. Gould right on it. So transfer battle working through the kids' table right now. Micah Kranz in that 2 spot. Dave Allen in the 3. Kranz a little bit loose on that off camber. Allen closing that gap. Plenty of time. Dave Allen just needs to wait in the weeds here. Sit on Micah Kranz's bumper. Wait for an error. No need to force anything crazy. Kranz a little bit early there on the turn. 2 down, 3 to go. Kranz off the pipe. Allen sizing him up. Dave Allen having a look to the inside here. Down the straightaway. Allen on the inside makes it stick. Kranz gives it up, lives to race another day. Smart move there from Micah Kranz. 2:40 to go. These guys got half a race to go here, battling it out. Off Farina on his lid. Peters right there. Dave Allen off the wall, so 1, 2, and 3 working across the line here. 2:25 to go. Farina up on that curbing, dangerously close. Farina a little crossed up. 1, 2, and 3 closing together. Chris Farina off the curbing. Mandela was on it. Allen having a look to the inside. Kranz a little crossed up down the straightaway. Dave Allen again on the inside of the sweeper. A beautiful move there from David Allen. Kranz and Farina duking it out now. So now Farina to the 2. 2 minutes to go. Dave Allen taking over that number 1 position. Transfer battle now between buddies Chris Farina and Micah Kranz. Working on the straightaway. Farina with that orange and yellow. Micah Kranz in the all blue. 1:40 on the clock. Dave Allen across the line with a 20.2. Farina gets it wrong. Kranz going to marshal him. 1:30 to go. Transfer battle working in the kids' table. Farina a little 50-50 grind there. Micah a little wide line on the chicane. Cross the line, 1:20 to go. Someone on his lid. Ooh, that's Elliot Castillo, our number 4 driver. Dave Allen all the while cruising through the chicane. In the tabletop section now is your leader. Your leader across the straightaway. Battle is for that number 2 spot. Working over the tabletop onto the straightaway now. Second place battle will be coming up on Elliot Castillo. 2 cars on you, Elliot, if and when. Second place on you. Farina a little wide, going in that triple section. Coming up on Elliot here. Good patience there from Elliot. 2 cars. Excellent driving there from young Castillo. 45 seconds to go. 2 and 3 across the line. 20.7 for Farina. Micah Kranz with a 20.2. His hot lap on lap 12. Kranz closing that gap. Has a look there. Jumps it a little too deep. 25 seconds to go. Farina all up on that curbing. 20 seconds across the line for Farina. These guys finishing lap 13 of what should be a 14-lap run. Farina gets spun around. Marshall trying to help him. 10 seconds to go. Kranz taking over that transfer position now. In that all blue with the black wheels. Farina catches a little bit of pipe. Micah Kranz now just has to keep the rubber side to the dirt. Keep it between the mustard and the mayonnaise. Across the line, you will be done. Kranz going to take that number 2 spot. David Allen on a victory lap. Farina 3. Elliot Castillo coming home 4. So that means David Allen and Micah Kranz, you guys are bumping up to the next race. Marshals, go ahead and get that track blown off. I'm going to need volunteer marshals. A generous amount, please. Dave Allen and Micah Kranz, you have 2 minutes to ready yourself for race number 2, the D main, which is now 1 minute and 50 seconds to ready your car. Mr. Allen and Micah Kranz. We got a 10-car heat out here, guys, so I need volunteer marshals for sure. Please and thank you. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Breadbasket Brian, and all you other marshals. David Allen and Micah Kranz, you have 1 minute and 15 seconds left. Race number 2, making their way to the driver's stand now. David Allen and Micah Kranz, you have 1 minute. David Allen is ready to go. Micah Kranz making some adjustments over here. He's got 50 seconds to go. And just go ahead and park it over there, Dave. Thank you. 40 seconds, Micah. Race number 2 making their way up to the driver's stand. 21.5 Spec Buggy D main. We got a full heat in this one. 10 cars. Top 2 looking to bump up to the C main. Kranz, I believe, on his way. I do not see him in his pit. Micah Kranz has 13 seconds. He better start making his way to the driver's stand. All right, you guys go ahead and roll him around. Check him in. In this one, we've got Chris Kern, Dan Nickel, Lucas Lenhart, Paul Reinick, Ian Lenhart, Les Farjone, Stephen Key, John Wells, David Allen. Straightaway go low, low on the straight. Go low on the straight. Still there. Just waiting on a check-in from Micah Kran. Straightaway is now closed. Let's set the grid here. Chris Kern going to be on the number 1 spot. Dan Nickel on the 2. Lucas Lenhart 3. Paul Reinick 4. Ian Lenhart 5. Les Farjone 6. 7 going to be Stephen Key. John Wells on the 8. David Allen on the 9. Micah Kranz on the 10. I could use a couple more marshals here. Let me get a volunteer or two. I need one over by Dalton. We got a full 10-car race here, guys. So I need a full field of marshals, please, and thank you. You can help out Dalton, Mr. Chesney, thank you. Les Farjone is on the 6. That should be all right, I think. Yeah, we'll be all right. All right, guys. Our grid is set. We've got marshals. This is the 21.5 Spec Buggy D main. Let's take it nice and easy. I don't want to restart them. No need to pass on that first lap. Just nice and smooth on the sound of the tone. Nice and easy. Patience in the back. Easy up there. Little self-induced there. Self-induced. Hustling. Long race. These guys getting a little crossed up, working on the straightaway. Lenhart, wrong side of the pipe. All right, we are off and rolling here. Watching in the carousel. Dan Nickel out front. Oh, Stephen Key losing a body. So Dan Nickel out front. Paul Reinick in that 2 spot. Leader in that green and white. Working down the line. Second spot now, Chris Kern. He's in that pink, green, yellow wheels. Reinick in the 3 of that white wing. Going up the hill. Reinick gets it wrong. Lucas Lenhart moving to the 3 spot now. Reinick down to the 4. Then we got Farjone. Kranz looking like Allen. Lenhart. Farina and Steven. 1:10 in, 3:50 to go in this one. Leader working into the chicane. Green, white, and black. Yellow wheels. Second spot is Chris Kern. Kern working on the straightaway. Got a mirror full of Lucas Lenhart right now. Transfer battle working through the sweeper. Kern in that pink, green, yellow wheels. Lenhart in that white and the rainbow. The classic Macintosh mobile with 3:30 to go. Battle for the transfer, working onto the straightaway now. Leader working down the line. That's Dan Nickel. Nickel with a 20.2. Rough lap there. Kern with a 19.6. 19.4 from Lenhart. Lenhart closing that gap. Trying to look on the inside of Kern. Gives him a little touch on the wheels. Lenhart coming up short. 3:05 to go. Lenhart got to make up all that ground now once again. Kern with a little bit of a break here. Watching the triple. Triple go wide on exit. Let him grab you. Oh, quick footwork there from Chesney. All these guys battling for position. Working through the chicane right now. So from top to bottom, it's Nickel, Kern, Lenhart, Kranz, Reineck, Farjone. What did I see there? Lucas Lenhart ejecting a rear wheel. Lenhart, your third place driver, out of it here with halfway of the race to go. So now it's Dan Nickel and Chris Kern with a pretty good lead. Nickel in the chicane, white, green, and black. Kern with that green, pink, and yellow. First and second working on the straightaway now. Third place is Micah Kranz right here in the blue through the chicane. Black wheels. So third place car working on the straightaway at this moment. Watch it coming after the kids' table. Stephen Key getting beat up out there. Leader getting caught up on Farjone. And again. So now Chris Kern to the point. Leader will be on David Allen. 3 down, 2 to go. Leader working through the sweeper and around the carousel on Dave Allen. Oh, they get caught up. Kern backs it in there on the triple landing. Gets caught up just a bit. Marshall doing the best he can. Leader is on Farjone and Allen. There we go. Leaders get through it. 1:40 to go. It's Kern, Nickel, Kranz, Wells, Reineck, Lenhart, Key, Allen, and Les Farjone with 1:30 to go. Battle working around the carousel here and up the hill. Starting to shape up. John Wells, Paul Reineck. Over to kids' table. Wells in that yellow, orange, and black. Reineck in the blue, white with the white wing. Back to the front through the chicane. Leader will be on Stephen Key. Second place to follow. Chris Kern on the point. 4 down, 1 to go. Third spot still Micah Kranz. Kranz working on the straightaway now. Then we got fourth place working on the straightaway now. That's John Wells. Fifth place right behind him, Paul Reineck. That's a battle right there. After that, Ian Lenhart in that yellow. And Stephen Key with the no body. Key getting caught up with our second place driver just a bit. Now Stephen Key got to deal with Les Farjone. 30 seconds to go. Farjone in that all yellow. Reeling in Key with the no body. 25 seconds to go in this one. Kern out front. Second place car on Stephen Key. Second place is Zach Green. 10 seconds to go in this one. Wells trying to close the gap on Kranz. Kranz in that all blue. Little kiss off the pipe there. Kranz gets it wrong. John Wells gets it wrong. Wells goes by. Now Reineck trying to put a move on Kranz here. Wells gets caught up with Dave Allen. Kranz back to the 3. Reineck trying to get that 3 spot on the straightaway here. It's a drag race. Kranz going to hang on. Just waiting on Johnny Wells. And that's it, all in, all done. Marshals, on your blowers, please. Chris Kern and Dan Nickel, you guys are bumping up to the 21.5 Spec Buggy C main. Kranz going to come home 3. Reineck, Wells, Lenhart, Key, Farjone, David Allen, and Lucas Lenhart. So Chris Kern and Dan Nickel, you guys now have 2 minutes to get your cars ready for race number 3, the 21.5 Spec Buggy C main. Marshals, go ahead and spread out. I need someone by the motive banner, someone by the number 1 blower. Yeah, I'll take you on the number 1 position, Stephen Key, and then Breadbasket Brian can go in the sweeper, all-the-way sweeper spot. 55 seconds, Chris Kern and Dan Nickel. Is Chris Kern and Dan Nickel up there? Nope, they're still putzing around. Dan Nickel, you have 45 seconds. Chris Kern. Kern on his way back in. Dan Nickel saucing the last tire here. He's got 30 seconds. Once Dan gets out here and on the stand, you can go ahead and roll him out. So let's just wait for him. 21.5 Spec Buggy C Main. About to do their warm-up lap here. Sweet Heat, round number 4. Go ahead and roll him around. Check him in, drivers. Another full heat. 10 cars in this one. All right, straightaway is closed. Everybody is checked in. Brian Letarte going to be on that number 1 position. Travis Mashinsky on the 2. Michelle Letarte on the 3. Mike Chesney on the 4. Fran Bonji on the 5. Andrew Schultz 6. Matthew Erdman 7. Dusty Flunker on the 8. And your bump-up drivers, Chris Kern on the 9 and Dan Nickel on the 10. Matthew Erdman is on the 7. Dusty Flunker is on the 8. Flunker's trying to pull a fast one here on Erdman. You almost got away with it, Dusty. You got to watch out for that guy. All right. Yep, we're good. Perfect. All right, guys, this is our 21.5 Spec Buggy C main. Top 2 drivers moving up to the B main. We got a full field here. We're going to take it easy. We're going to have some fun on the sound of the tone. All right, nice and easy. No need to force anything on lap 1. You know how I like it. Nice and easy. Check up. No need to go full speed on lap 1. Patience there. Keep it going. Get it going, Erdman. Patience in the back. Self-induced. There you go. Patience. Go, 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 go. Work it out in the back. Erdman and Flunker. Ooh, that was dicey. All right, we are live with this one. All these guys getting caught up in the triple. Watching a triple. Keep it tight. So out front, Brian Letarte on the point. Mashinsky in the 2. Michelle Letarte in that 3 spot. Looks like Erdman, Kern, Nickel, Bonji, Schultz, those 3 duking it out. Chesney up in there. And we got Flunker in the number 10 spot. So leaders working down the line. Brian Letarte, orange, yellow, blue, antenna tube, watching the chicane. Second spot is Mashinsky in that yellow and white. These 2 got to work together if they want to bump up to the B main here. But they've got a mirror full of Michelle Letarte, so they got to keep her moving. 3:45 to go. Top 3 working down the straightaway. Little break to 4 in that purple, pink, and white of Erdman. Kern in the 5 on the straightaway now. Bonji right behind him, closing that gap. Schultz right behind them in the all pink. Then a little break to Chesney. 1:30 in, 3:30 to go. Our leader resets hot lap last time by for himself in 18.4. Watch it after a triple. Wow, easy, Andrew, easy. Easy, Kern. Patience over there. Put him on the other side, Wells. Thank you. Oh. All right, we reset here. A little couple bobbles. Let these guys go across the line. Back to the front. Letarte around that carousel corner. He's coming up on Bonji. Watch it after kids table. Kids table. 2:55 to go. Third place sign to Kern. Oh, man. That's third place right on you there, Kern. Thank you. Oh, no, it's not. Never mind. My bad, Kern. You guys are battling. 2:45 to go. Brian Letarte out front, working behind Flunker right now. Mashinsky in that 2 spot. These guys working out of the chicane. Michelle Letarte dropping out of that 3. Matt Erdman taking over the 3 spot now. Halfway down, halfway to go. So Erdman working down the line in P3. He's got a generous margin to make up here to reel in Travis Mashinsky. Mashinsky and Letarte just got to keep it clean for another 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Transfer into that next main here, into the B main. Watch it after the sweeper, after the sweeper. Clear now. That was Chesney on his lid. 2:05 to go from top to bottom. It's Letarte, Mashinsky, Erdman, Michelle Letarte, Chesney, Schultz, Bonji, Flunker, Nickel, and Kern. 1:50 to go. Schultz, Bonji, and Flunker having a battle here, working in the kids' table. Oh, Andrew in that pink rolls it over. Bonji and Flunker going to go by. Leaders on Andrew now. Second place on Andrew. So Bonji taking over that number 5 position. Flunker to the 6. Andrew down to the 7. And we got Chesney, Kern, and Dan Nickel. Chesney working up the hill in that orange and white. Chris Kern about a little 1 corner behind him. 1:20 to go. Watching the carousel corner. Oh, Letarte getting caught up just a bit. Travis getting greedy there. Ends up on the loose stuff. Does a little donut. They still got a good margin on Michelle Letarte in that 3 spot. Letarte taking the 3 spot back from Erdman. Less than a minute to go here. Battle for the 3 position. That blue, gray, and turquoise coming up on the back of Dan Nickel. 2 cars. Dan Duke, 2 cars. Smart move there from Dan, letting the 3 and 4 position work right by him. Up the hill goes Michelle and Erdman. Erdman looking around the outside, nothing there. 35 seconds to go. It's our closest battle on the track. Michelle turns in just a bit early. Oh, they get together. Marshall's going to try and set him down even. 20 seconds to go. Erdman up to that 3 spot now. Michelle down to the 4, gets it wrong. Bonji taking over the 4 spot now. Michelle down to the 5. Then we got Schultz, Flunker, Chesney, Kern, and Nickel. Letarte and Mashinsky looking to run away with this one. 5 seconds to go. Mashinsky wants that spot. It's going to be a battle of the line here. Lead battle working on the straightaway. Mashinsky trying to get a run. Brian Letarte going to hang on. Mashinsky bumping up with him. Just waiting on a couple more. All in, all done. Letarte and Mashinsky bumping up. Erdman going to come home 3. Bonji, Michelle, Andrew, Flunker, Chesney, Kern, and Dan Nickel. Brian Letarte and Travis Mashinsky, you have 2 minutes to ready your rides. You are bumping up into the B main. Please hold the cars until all the drivers are on a stand, especially because the blowers are going as well. Brian Letarte and Travis Mashinsky, you have 1 minute and 40 seconds. Travis is ready. Brian's ready. Man, look at that. Well, good thing we're still blowing the track off. We got some time. This is our 21.5 Spec Buggy B main. Top 2 of these 10 guys are going up to the big show. Go ahead and roll them around, check them in. It's the big show. Breadbasket Brian, you want to help me out for one more? All right, everybody has checked in. Let's set the grid here for the B main. Top two guys going up to the big show. It's the big show. On the number 1 position, going to be Tyler O'Brien. Todd Pfeiffer on the 2. Danny Detloff on the 3. Preston Shear on the 4. Pat Hamill 5. Adam Chidara on the 6. Dalton Castillo on the 7. Todd Filter on the number 8. And your bump-up drivers, Brian Letarte and Travis Mashinsky, 9 and 10. All right, we've got our cars. We've got our Marshalls. We're going to take it nice and smooth. Parade first lap on the sound of the tone. Easy, guys. Easy, easy, easy. Give and take, give and take. Let's bring it back. Restart that. False start, false start, false start. I'm not going to name drop. Let's reset here. We'll try that once more. I want a good, clean fight. A little give and take in that first lap. No need to go full throttle. No need to force a pass. Just be a gentleman on the sound of the tone. Patience, patience, patience. Self-induced, please check up. Thank you for the checkup back there, Castillo. Patience. Thank you. It's a long race. No need to make any crazy motions right away. Self-induced. Hustle, hustle. Long race. Tyler O'Brien leading us out. Pfeiffer in a 2. Detloff. Shear. Looking like Hamill. Chidara, Filter, Letarte, Mashinsky, Castillo. T.O.B. rolls it over. Going to tap out on lap number 3. Pfeiffer and Detloff giving a gift here. Shear trying to close in on 1 and 2. 1 and 2 working down the straightaway. Pfeiffer in that off-white and red. Detloff in the blue with the yellow flames. Preston Shear directly behind him on track in that red and white yellow wheels. Watching the sweeper. Clear. Little break to T.O.B. and Pat Hamill. Shear going to tap out on that off camber. He's going to lose 2 spots there. 3:45 to go. So leaders break away just a bit. Pfeiffer starting to break away fractionally from Detloff. Pfeiffer working into the chicane. Now Detloff. Here comes T.O.B. and Hamill. Little separation to Shear. Someone on his lid. That was Diesel. Detloff rolls it over. Going to give up a spot. Maybe 2. So Pfeiffer all the while. Detloff on his lid again. Pfeiffer all the while reeling himself away from these guys. Off white and red. Down the line. White wheels. T.O.B. in the 2. Pink and white. Hamill in the 3 spot now. Navy blue. Yellow trim. Little break to Shear and Detloff. T.O.B. rolls it over. So now Pat Hamill moving up to that 2 spot. 2 down, 3 to go. Pfeiffer leads them out up the hill in front of the driver's stand. Pat Hamill in that 2 spot in tow. These guys 1, 2, and 3 about equidistant here. Pfeiffer with a minuscule little bit more gap. 2:40 to go. O'Brien working a lap this time by Hamill. 18-0 T.O.B. 17-3. Watching in front of the stand. Pfeiffer gets it wrong. Comes up short. It's a new battle now. 1, 2, and 3 working over to kids' table with half of the race left to go. Pfeiffer, Hamill, and Tyler O'Brien working down the straightaway. 2:20 on the clock. Up the hill. T.O.B. looking for a way around Hamill. Hamill leaves the door open. Gives it up. Lives to race another day. Little touch of the bumper there. 2:05 to go. Pfeiffer hangs on to the number 1 T.O.B. to the number 2 position now. Hamill doing the chasing. Top 2 guys looking to bump up. They got 1 minute and 55 seconds left to do it. They're going to be coming up on a bit of traffic here if and when eventually on Mashinsky and Letarte. So from top to bottom with 1:45 to go, we got Pfeiffer working across the line. T.O.B. hot on his heels. Hamill in that 3 spot. Shear, Detloff, Filter, Chidara, Castillo, Letarte, and Mashinsky. Detloff going for another little quick roll over there. Trying to creep in on this lead battle. He was eking his way by. TOB gets by Pfeiffer. It's a new race now with 1:25 to go. Leader in that pink. White wheels. Over to small tabletop. Coming up on Travis. TOB rolls it over. He taps out. Pfeiffer going to go by. Here comes Shear and Hamill. Hamill looking for a way by Shear. Hamill looking to the inside. Preston Shear closing the door. 4 down, 1 to go. Transfer battle working after the kids' table into the chicane. TOB, Shear, Hamill taps out. Detloff going to get by Hamill there. 45 seconds to go. Leader starting to stretch it out now. Second and third place working into the chicane. Smart move there from the marshal. 30 seconds to go. Transfer battle through the sweeper. The pink and white versus the red and white. Yellow wheels. Detloff not out of this one yet. 20 seconds to go. Shear going to go for a quick roll over there. No marshal needed. 13 seconds to go. Watch coming on the straight. Go low, low, low. 9 seconds across the line there for Detloff. This should be the final lap. Pfeiffer working the kids' table. Second place is OB in the chicane. A little kiss off the curb in there. Shear trying to close in. TOB flirting with that pipe. Cross the line and you will be done. Couple more to finish. And that's it, all in, all done. Todd Pfeiffer, a strong drive there. Taking home the number 1 position. TOB bringing home that 2 spot. Those 2 drivers bumping up to the big show. TOB, why don't you go, well, if anybody has to have you move, just because you're 9th or whatever, yeah. So you're ready. Todd Pfeiffer, you have 2 minutes. Let's hold the cars here until Todd Pfeiffer arrives to the driver's stand, please and thank you. Marshals from the previous race, spread them out. Pfeiffer making his way back to the stand. Hold the cars, please. Hold the cars. 21.5 Spec Buggy. A-Main about to warm him up here. Pfeiffer making his way up onto the stand. Him and Tyler O'Brien snagging those last 2 spots into the big show here. Drivers, you can roll them around and check them in. These are our top 10 drivers this evening. Skylar Mandela taking that top qualifying position tonight. A strong drive there from the youngsters. Mandela and Didi sitting 1 and 2. Craig O'Brien currently in that 3rd position. Jake Ward in the 4. Your incumbent champion. Larry Wright the 4th. Qualified 5th this evening. Nick Peters in the 6th. Blaine Gould 7. Jamie Tenney's your points leader for Sweet Heat. In that number 8 qualifying position right now. Todd Pfeiffer bumping up to the 9. And Tyler O'Brien on that number 10 and final spot in the A-Main. Sweet Heat round number 4 here at Trackside Hobbies, Brookfield, Wisconsin. Yes, we are going to do it rows 1s and 2. So we're going to line up on the blue marks. Skylar Mandela on the inside. So Talon Didi on the outside in row 1. Row 2 going to be Craig O'Brien on the inside, Jake Ward on the outside in row 2. Row 3 going to be Larry Wright and Nick Peters. Larry on the inside, Peters on the outside. Row 4 going to be Blaine Gould and Jamie Tenney's. Gould on the inside, Tenney's on the outside. And the final row going to be Pfeiffer and O'Brien, with Pfeiffer on the inside and O'Brien on the outside. Remember, guys, this is an 8-minute long race. Let's have the easiest opening lap here. We really don't want to bring them back side by side. Lots of patience. Let's have lots of fun. We're going to do this on the sound of the tone. 21.5 Spec Buggy, A main. Patience, 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 guys. Patience, little Larry. All right, you guys eased into your line. Just work this line for one lap. No need to force anything. Patience, Gould, and Tenney's. Easy in the back there. Self-induced. Sorry, Pfeiffer. All right, we are live. We are freight training. Top 3 cars going to lead them out the way they started. Mandela, Didi, O'Brien, Wright. Looking like Ward, Peters, Tenney's, Gould, O'Brien, and Pfeiffer. Didn't see what happened there. But it looks like Larry Wright to the 3, Jake Ward 4, O'Brien shuffling down to the 6th spot, I believe. Gould catching a little bit curb in there. It goes from the 8 to the 10. So back to the front, it's Mandela and Didi. Leaders working down the straightaway, the 2 young guns. Mandela in that green, black and white. Didi in the yellow and blue. These guys working in front of the driver's stand. Already starting to gap a little bit on Larry Wright the 4th. Right in that white, black, and red, sliding into the chicane. Ward on his bumper, followed by O'Brien, Tenney's, O'Brien, Pfeiffer, and Gould. Someone on the wrong side of the pipe. It's LW4. Marshall doing what he can. Larry going to lose a couple spots here. Keep it clean. 6:40 to go. Long race. Didi closes the gap on Mandela. These guys are nose to tail now. Lead battle on the straightaway. 6.5 minutes to go. No need to do anything crazy. Just got to wait for your moment here. Mandela got to keep it clean. Didi got to find the perfect opportunity. These guys got a good gap building up here on the 3rd place battle between Ward and O'Brien. Small separation to Tenney's. Tyler O'Brien, Wright, Pfeiffer, Peters, and Gould. Oh, Peters catches too much off camera there. Quick rollover. Gould going to go by for that number 9 spot. Tyler O'Brien rolls it around that carousel. So leaders working on to straight. Skyler and Talon across the line. 17-1 for Skyler, 17-3 for Talon. Talon closing the gap in front of the driver's stand. These guys got to keep it clean. They are having a good battle here with 5:45 to go. They've got a good gap working on the 3rd place position of Jake Ward right now. Ward across the line in that red and white. Craig O'Brien right behind him in the 4 spot. Little break to Tenney's in that black, white, and yellow. Larry Wright in the number 6 directly behind Tenney's. Tenney's your points leader. Larry Wright 1 point behind him in the series right now. So this is your battle for the points leadership right now. Working through the sweeper. The yellow, white, and black versus that white, red, and black. Up the hill in front of the driver's stand. Back to the front. The battle rages on between the young guys. Mandela and Didi nose to tail for the last 3 minutes here. What an excellent race from these 2 young drivers. Mandela in the green, purple and white. Didi in that blue, yellow with the white wheels. These guys running a flawless race through the sweeper. Matching lap time 17 flat for Didi and Mandela. Hot lap for both of them in front of the stand. Good marshal in there from Shear. Leaders get through the mess. 1st and 2nd place will be on Tyler O'Brien and Nick Peters next, who are battling for 9th place. 3:30 down and 4:30 to go. 1 and 2 having an excellent battle up front in front of the driver's stand. They're coming up on Tyler O'Brien and Nick Peters if and when. So leaders coming on to straightaway. 3rd place is Jake Ward. Jake Ward is now working his way onto straightaway, followed by Craig O'Brien in the 4. Tenney's in the 5. Larry Wright in the 6. Pfeiffer in the 7. 5, 6, and 7 working across the line here. That's a 3-way battle through the sweeper. Tenney's in that yellow, white, and black. Wright right behind them. Pfeiffer right behind them. 3-way battle through the chicane. Oh, man, didn't see what happened there, but Tenney's now at the end of that little train. 3:40 to go. Tennies gets it wrong again, catches too much curbing. That's for position now behind you, JT. Tyler O'Brien for position behind you. You got the leaders working up on you. Still 4 minutes and 30 seconds in. Leaders coming on to straightaway. Good patience there. Thank you, JT. Thank you, JT. 3:20 to go. So for 4 minutes and 40 seconds, these guys have been nose to tail, working into the chicane. Didi having a look there. Knocking on the door. Didi to the inside on the straightaway. They're nose to tail. Oh, he's going to wait on that one. And he go. A good sportsmanship there from Skylar Mandela. Got a little too deep in the sweeper. Now Skylar has to do the chasing. Didi followed him for 5 long minutes. Waited for his perfect moment, and there it was coming onto the straightaway. Beautifully executed move by Talon. Didi. Lead battle working across the line. Didi and Mandela. Now Mandela doing the chasing. Up on that curb in there, just a little too much. Didi gaining a couple feet. They're going to be coming up on Larry Wright if and when. 2:35 to go. Leaders working onto the straightaway. Ward in that 3 spot. Craig, Todd, Wright, Peters, O'Brien, Tennies, and Gould. 2:25 to go. Lead battle working in front of the stand. Didi leading them out. Little flick of the wheels there on the double single. Saucy move there for Talon Didi. 2:15 to go. Cross the line. 17-2. Mandela 17-5. So Didi taking a little bit there. 2:05 to go. Ward and O'Brien in the 3 and 4. Watch coming out of chicane. Good marshalling there from Detloff. That was Larry Wright on his lid. I believe O'Brien closing the gap on him. So Wright, O'Brien, and Tennies across the line. That's a battle. Back to the front with 1:45 to go. Talon Didi over that kid's table into the chicane. A tidy line there. Leaders working down the line. Didi 17-3. Mandela 17-3. 1:30 to go. Mandela tight on that curb and working a good lap here. Closing the gap on Didi. Through the chicane. Little kiss off the curb. 1 and 2 working down the line. 17-1, 17-3. Didi takes 2/10. Watch it after the sweeper. Good marshal in there from Mashinsky. Larry Wright on the wrong side of the pipe out of the sweeper. So out front, leaders through the chicane. Didi and Mandela. Ward in that 3 spot. Ward currently in the chicane. What happened there? Mandela goes for a little tumble. 1 minute to go. Talon Didi gets a 2.6 second gift right there. Mandela now got to make up that time. No battle right behind you, Skylar. No battle in front of you, Pfeiffer, but behind you. This is a battle working across the line here. Through the sweeper, O'Brien. Pfeiffer watching in front of the driver's stand. Watching in front of the driver's stand. Clear now. 30 seconds to go. So from top to bottom, Talon Didi, Skylar Mandela, Ward, Craig, Tyler, Todd Pfeiffer, Jamie Tennies, Larry Wright, Nick Peters, and Blaine Gould. Talon stretching it out now. Just got to keep it clean. Mandela on that too. Ward and O'Brien battling up the hill. Coming up on Nick Peters. No battle behind you, Nick Peters. 2 cars. Oh, man. All these guys battling it out. Once you cross the line, you will be done. Couple more to finish here. It's going to come down to the end. And that's it. All in, all done. What an amazing 8-minute race for these top 2 young drivers. Talon Didi going to take the win tonight. Skylar Mandela, an excellent race as well, bringing home the number 2. Craig O'Brien, 3. Jake Ward taking home the 4 spot. Tyler O'Brien in the 5. Jamie Tennies in the 6. Todd Pfeiffer in the 7. Nick Peters, 8. Blaine Gould, 9. And Larry Wright in the 10. I'll get these points calculated up here in a few moments. Talon, Skylar, awesome race. That concludes our race program for this evening. We thank you guys for coming out on this beautiful Friday night. Sweet Heat, round number 4. Another successful rendition. Hope you guys had some fun. I definitely did. And we hope to see you on the next one, which I believe is August 30th. That will be the Sweet Heat final round, August 30th. Thanks, guys.